Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines.
President Donald Trump has said that his changing positions on the Iran conflict reflect rapidly evolving circumstances rather than inconsistency. In a podcast interview, Trump defended his approach, saying facts change quickly and insisting military action was necessary to prevent Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon.
US President Donald Trump has rejected claims that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu influenced his decisions on military action against Iran. Speaking on the Pod Force One podcast, Trump said the decision was entirely his and insisted it was necessary to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. He also dismissed suggestions that he was manipulated by Israeli leadership, asserting that he took responsibility for the policy direction. The Gulf Cooperation Council has condemned Iran over alleged attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain, calling the incidents a serious escalation in regional tensions. GCC Secretary-General Jasem Mohammed al-Budaiwi described the reported strikes as attacks on civilian targets and warned they threaten the security and stability of Gulf states. The bloc said the situation represents what it calls ongoing aggression against member countries. Gulf hostilities have flared anew, with the US military saying Iranian missile attacks on Bahrain, Kuwait, and other regional targets have been either thwarted or failed. US Central Command said the military downed Iranian drones targeting civilian ships and US forces in Kuwait, and carried out strikes on Qeshm Island near the Strait of Hormuz following attempted attacks by Iran. According to Iranian state media, the country's Revolutionary Guards attacked the US Fifth Fleet headquarters located in Bahrain, as well as an airbase and helicopters in an unspecified regional country using missiles and drones, in response to what the IRGC described as a US attack on a communications tower south of Qeshm.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has said that his country is carrying out what he described as self-defense strikes against sites allegedly being used to attack civilian shipping and violate the ceasefire. In a post on social media platform X, Araghchi warned that any hostile action would draw an immediate response, insisting that further pressure or military action would not change Iran's position. Meanwhile, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf has said that Iran will respond forcefully to any future attacks by the United States or Israel. Speaking after Iran's Revolutionary Guard reported retaliatory action against Kuwait, Ghalibaf said the era of threats against Iran without consequences is over, and warned that any aggression would be met with a decisive and proportional response.
Moreover, the US military has fired a Hellfire missile at a tanker heading toward Iran as part of a blockade being imposed by President Donald Trump. The US military's Central Command posted a video showing the missile strike the tanker and said it targeted the Botswana-flagged ship's engine room, disabling it. The Central Command said in a statement that the ship's crew ignored repeated warnings, failing to comply with directions from US forces multiple times. Kuwait has confirmed its first fatality following Iranian strikes, with authorities reporting one person killed and several others wounded. Officials say the attacks also caused damage to key infrastructure and diplomatic premises across the country. In response to the escalating security situation, Kuwait has temporarily suspended operations at its international airport.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio says a US-backed plan for ending the Gaza conflict does not include Israeli control of 70% of the territory. Rubio told lawmakers the proposal focuses on a post-war Gaza governed by a non-Hamas authority after Benjamin Netanyahu announced plans to expand military control in the enclave. Separately, Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that President Donald Trump will attend the upcoming NATO summit in Turkey this July. Speaking before lawmakers, Rubio reaffirmed US commitment to NATO, but said the alliance needs significant changes, describing the next summit as potentially the most important meeting in NATO's history.
The Trump administration has proposed new tariffs of 10% and 12.5% on imports from 60 economies over what it says are failures to prevent the use of forced labor in supply chains. The proposal comes from the US Trade Representative's office and follows an investigation into trade practices deemed harmful to American commerce. The move is part of broader efforts by the administration to reshape trade policy after previous emergency tariffs were struck down by the US Supreme Court earlier this year. The United States also announced sanctions on Iran's biggest cryptocurrency exchange, accusing it of enabling the Iranian government and blacklisted state institutions to circumvent Western sanctions. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said in a statement that while Iran's economy is in freefall, the regime has chosen to co-opt digital asset technologies for its own corrupt agenda, including evading sanctions and transferring wealth out of the country.
And the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has lowered its global growth outlook, forecasting the world economy to expand by 2.8% in 2026 before recovering slightly in 2027. The OECD says conflict in the Middle East is disrupting energy supplies, fueling inflation, and weighing on business activity, while warning that a prolonged crisis could push growth even lower.
That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.sammaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.